It's just my take on the matter. LeBron James is the greatest stat stuffer in the history of the NBA. Lonzo Ball got the gift, but he doesn't have the glow. You heard it here first. Bill Belichick sabotaged the Super Bowl. Michael Jordan is the standard by which basketball excellence is measured. Period. That's just my take. What's yours? Hey, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the notification button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. I'm going to get your take. Let's talk sports.
All right, so check it. This is the scene that is taking place right now with the Houston Rockets and Mike D'Antoni. Check it out.
Mike, why am I out? You're not a wartime consigliere, Tom. Things may get rough with the move we're trying.
I advise, Michael. I never thought you were a bad consigliere. I thought Santino was a bad Don. Rest in peace. Michael has all my confidence, as you do. But there are reasons why he must have no part in what is going to happen.
Maybe I could help. You're out, Tom.
Yo, welcome back to My Take Live Sports Rant with me, Michael John Pennell. And that scene best describes what's actually taking place with the Houston Rockets. As you know, the Houston Rockets they lost again, well, a big game, I don't say again, but they lost to the Golden State Warriors in 7. And there's a lot really riding on the series. Reputations, careers, legacies for everybody. James Harden, Mike D'Antoni. But that scene perfectly describes what should take place, regardless to what the Houston Rockets accomplished as far as their record, James Harden becoming MVP. The fact is this: Mike D'Antoni is not a wartime consigliere. And what we mean is he's not a championship level coach. He simply, at best, an offensive coordinator in the NBA. He's not a head coach that's going to lead anybody to the championship level. And the owner, that being Victor Corleone, that's the owner. Okay, Michael Corleone is the general manager, and Tom Hagen is Mike D'Antoni. And he said to him, "You're not a wartime consigliere. With the move we're making, things might get rough." And what does that translate if the ownership is telling Mike D'Antoni that? Listen, we're trying to go to the finals. Okay? You have never been to the finals, and you don't have the coaching ability to take a team to the finals. You've had teams that have had MVPs. You've had teams that have had best records in the league multiple times, and you could not get the team to the finals as a head coach. So you're not a wartime consigliere. You're not a championship level head coach. Now, unfortunately for Mike D'Antoni, you know who his Don was? His Don was his best player, James Harden. And the owner, Victor Corleone, said, "Listen, I never considered you a bad consigliere. I thought that Santino was a bad Don. In other words, James Harden was just a bad leader. He's a bad leader. He's not a leader. So unfortunately for Mike D'Antoni, James Harden is his best player. He's his Don. And you can't count on him. But the reason why Mike D'Antoni should be fired, in my opinion, unfortunately, if the Houston Rockets is serious about going to the finals, you cannot allow your team to go 0 for 27 in three-point field goals in a championship game 7. How the hell do you do that? How do you let them die? How don't you call a timeout and say, guys, we're 0 for 10. Take the ball to the rack. You're giving, when you go 0 for 27 and you get no field goals as a result of that, basically you have given away 27 possessions. And what's worse, that they were 7 for 44 for the game. How many possessions did you give away? How are you supposed to beat a team as good as the Golden State Warriors offensively if you give away possessions? Let me tell you something. More than that, I'm going to tell you why D'Antoni is not a wartime coach. He's not a championship level coach. Because what got you the 2 victories was clock possession, right? Defense and time of possession. Holding the ball, running the clock, making it a possession game, which is why the score in the last 2 games that they won was 95-93, and I think the other one was 95-92. That meant that they worked the clock. They worked the possessions. Now all of a sudden, in game 7, not only does the players panic and abandon that strategic strategy that worked for you, the coach allowed it to take place. So he panicked too. Oh God. Oh God. We gotta score. No, you don't. Listen, it'd have been beautiful if y'all was making it. But they weren't making it. Slow the possession down. Slow the game down. You cannot give 3 of the best shooters of all time more possessions, because what's going to happen? Shooters going to shoot, baby. They're going to get their rhythm at some point. We're not talking about Trevor Ariza. We're not talking about the J.R. Smiths. These are the best shooters that's ever played the game. If you've given them more possessions and more attempts to shoot, they're just at some point, they're going to get the rhythm. And once they get the rhythm, game's over. Mike D'Antoni panicked, and he showed that he is not a wartime consigliere. And if the Houston Rockets is serious, if they're serious about going to a finals, they got to get a serious head coach. That's the only way that they're going to take that team to the finals. Anyway, that's my take. What's yours? Leave your comments. And thanks for stopping by.